I'm Savannah, this is Cleaver Cooking, and this is the pasta series. Part 1, pasta dough. We are gonna make a basic pasta dough, which really is not that complex. Get some flour, you got a couple different flour options, and we are gonna use semolina. You can also use 00 flour or all-purpose will do in a pinch, so the texture isn't quite as nice, but you know. So we're just gonna do a small batch here. 1 cup of flour, make a little well in the center. And a good ratio for pasta dough is about 1 egg to every cup of flour. Doesn't have to be super precise though. Crack your egg right on into the middle. Yeah, you too can do this. You do it and you're just like, I'm doing it. You feel so fancy. So we're gonna add to that just a pinch of salt. Does not have to be precise. And then just start beating up that egg. Okay, as it's mixing, we're just gonna start pulling in some of the flour and mixing that in as well. Some chefs get super particular about how many egg yolks they can stuff into a pasta dough. And I just think that's ridiculous. We're gonna add some water anyways, most likely, so the white has water content. Let's use it. Okay, and once it starts to get a little too thick for the fork, we're gonna go in with our hands. If you've got one of these bench scrapers, that is super helpful. Just start working that together. All right, now we're gonna go in. One of the big mistakes people can make early on is they're like, oh my God, it's so dry. I obviously need a ton of water. That's not the case. So there's more hydration in here than it looks like. So the way to tell if you need to add water or not is to actually squeeze the dough. Is it dry or does it feel moist? This feels fairly moist, so I'm gonna keep working it until it feels dry, and then that tells me I need to add a little bit of water. See, look how much of that we got into a dough ball with just the amount of water we had. So now we're gonna add just a little bit of water to the dry stuff on the bottom and kind of bring that together. You want your pasta dough to be a little bit stiff, so try not to overhydrate it, otherwise it's gonna stick to your pasta maker and that's gonna suck. Now we start to knead, picking up the extra pieces. And at this point, it feels a little bit stiff. Semolina flour is usually gonna take a little bit more water than an all-purpose or 00 flour. So you wanna add just enough water so that you can actually knead it into a dough. If it's coming apart on you or feels super dry and sandy, you probably need a little bit of water. We're just gonna knead this for anywhere from like 3 to 6 minutes until it's nice and smooth on the outside. All right, so about 6 minutes later, there's still a couple of cracks in this because it is semolina, but if you ran your finger over it, it feels soft like your cheek. And that tells you that you are ready to go. So now, I'm just gonna wrap it in plastic wrap. Nice and tight, and that's it for your dough. This needs to rest for 30 minutes to an hour before you try and roll it out because you developed all that gluten. And if you try and roll it out right now, it would just tear and be springing back and fighting you the whole time. You can leave it in the fridge for up to 2 days. It might start to oxidize, discolor, but it's still totally fine. That's it. Check out part 2 of this series for shaping and forming pasta. And if this series gets 1,000 likes, we will do a premium series where I show you all some fancy shit like how to dye your pasta, how to laminate herbs into it. It's gonna be pretty cool. Thanks for watching. Subscribe!